going on, y'all? Just wanted to make a part 2 to the Jupiter through the areas of life. So now we're going to start back on to the 7th house. So Jupiter in the 7th house, like I said, wherever Jupiter is at, that area of life is going to already be expounded upon. That area is already going to be full of experiences and knowledge. And there's going to be a big field. So the 7th house becomes a big field in your life. So this actually could play out to you're a very flirtatious person, whether you're a male or a female. So you could be very flirtatious because that area of Venus, the daytime ruler, the masculine side of Venus, Libra, the 7th house. So this masculine, it's pushing out, so it's external. So you're seeing yourself in experiences where you're being very flirtatious or very affectionate with other individuals, because the 7th house deals with relationships. So that's where that whole entire energy even comes from. So you have a lot of experiences in this area with the 7th house. Now you have a lot of knowledge on how relationships work. If you understand how relationships work, because you probably had a lot of relationships, because you had a lot of experiences with relationships. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be romantic. It could even be business relationships. It could be super close friends that you had a one-on-one basis with, that you had a closer relationship compared to other friends in your friend group or associations or whatever. You have a lot of knowledge here. But you could be a little excessive in this area too. So make sure you don't catch a STD or some shit. And I'm being funny, but at the same time, that energy could play out, because all these different archetypes and aspects could play out through these energies. Now, when you have Jupiter in the 8th house, the area of the occult, deep mysticism, the things that are behind closed doors, you know what I'm saying? Other people's resources, the depths of things. Sex, not on a surface level, but on a deep connective level, and actually creating an energy with somebody and everything. And sex isn't always physical. It could be mental too, in a lot of different ways. When you have Jupiter in the 8th house, this area is broadened and everything. Now, it's not like the 7th house where it's you may have sex with a lot of people and everything, and you're very detached. And it's not even that, but it's anytime you are in a relationship like that, you're always, that area of it being broadened, it's always going to be deep. You're always going to be wanting to go in depth and everything like that, regardless. Because that's just the energy you carry with Jupiter being in the 8th house. Then also, you just have a lot of knowledge in this area of the occult. So you could see, you could read a person, in the Terminator. Remember in the Terminator where he could just read a person and then understand their characters and their qualities and everything. When you have Jupiter in the 8th house, you have that energy because it's higher knowledge. So you're able to take that higher misty aspect and you're able to see through into the 8th house and everything. And you've been through so many dark and almost movie-like scenarios and everything where you got out of situations so much to where you play out this energy you could just see when bullshit is coming a mile away, because you've had so many experiences where you were in the dark and everything like that. So that could play out with the 8th house. With Jupiter being in the 8th house too. You have a lot of knowledge. You could teach other people not to make decisions that they're deeply going to regret and everything like that. You're very wise with this placement. Jupiter in the 9th house. I have this placement with Jupiter in the 9th house. When you have Jupiter in the 9th house, this is the masculine ruler of Jupiter, the 9th house. Well, actually, we could say Jupiter rules the 9th house, technically. And this is its daytime, masculine, pushing out aspect, the 9th house, which deals with higher knowledge, which deals with travel, which deals with broadening your surroundings. So, because it's the opposite of the 3rd house, so it's broadening your surroundings, aka travel. Seeing new experiences. That's why it's mutable fire, because fire is a vision, and when you're mutable and you're adapting, you're seeing different locations, which is a vision, which is something you can see visually. So that's where that energy comes from too, with Jupiter being in the 9th house. And then you're just regardless, even if you're book smart, street smart, or whatever kind of smart, you already have this energy of being able to just soak in information. and you're able to teach it too also. This is why I'm able to comfortably get online sometimes without even like having like a piece of paper to reference and everything, because I've studied and am so invested in this shit so much that I could just speak it from the heart and from the mind. And all, god damn it. So also, like, when you have Jupiter in the ninth house, you just love to teach. And you're really good at teaching too, regardless. It could be the simplest thing. You could be an employee at a job and like how to just simply just stock shelves and everything, and you could show someone how to stock shelves. Super great. Super amazing. Because the way you're able to teach it, you're able to convey this knowledge to someone to where they can adapt it to themselves. Mutable fire. And then, or just mutable in general, because Jupiter is a mutable planet. And they're able to take that energy and they're able to take it into their life too. Jupiter in the 10th house. Now with Jupiter in the 10th house, your area of status, of broadcasting, of anything dealing with cardinal earth, so the way the plans that you draw out and everything, and the businesses that you create, or just your business, like again your status, like, so people being in your business, like people being nosy, that's an aspect of the 10th house too. And that creates uncomfortability because it's the opposite of the 4th house, which deals with comfortability and privacy because it's ruled by the moon. So Jupiter in the 10th house, this area is broadened. Now Jupiter is actually fallen. It falls in the 10th house, so it doesn't really like being here. But the thing with fallen planets is that if it fights the necessary fight it needs to fight to get out of that fallen state of Capricorn, it can rise itself into an exalted state, because they've learned all the shit about cardinal earth and they've experienced all these blueprints and everything, or drawn out all these blueprints, to now they're able to create the biggest blueprint, the greatest idea, to now that they can set themselves a foundation to create a home. You know what I'm saying? Complete comfortability, aka a business that takes care of all your needs. The moon. Then also with Jupiter being in the 10th house, you just have a lot of knowledge of business. So you're the kind of person where you probably know how to like set up multiple businesses. You probably have a vending machine business. On top of that, you have a real estate investing business. On top of that, you know how to stock market invest. On top of that, you know how to fix cars. On top of that, you know how to paint and bodywork. On top of that, you know how to do cabinetry. On top of that, you can make trays. On top of that, you can make shirts. On top of that, you work at this place on the daytime shift and whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a lot of experience and knowledge in this area too. Jupiter in the 11th house. Now, this is associations. This is social media. This is technology. This is the Aquarius house. So this is dealing with social freedom too, and social justice in a lot of different ways too. This area is expounded upon. So this area is constantly growing in your life, aka you have so many associates in your life, you can't even keep up with these people and everything like that. You got people knocking at your door every single day and everything, and you're like, I don't remember this person, because this area naturally is expanding. So people just know you, or you know them based upon people you already know, and then this area is just constantly expanding. But at the same time, you can have a lot of knowledge when it comes to like technology. So you could be very tech savvy with Jupiter being in the 11th house. You gain a lot of experience and you gain a lot of knowledge in this area, and you're able to convey it in a way to where you can teach other people how to do it in a way that makes sense, especially when we're dealing with technology, because that's very air, Mercurian based energy and everything, and Saturnian because it rules the 11th house. Saturn rules the 11th house. Mercury rules the 3rd house. This is an air planet and an air energy also. Well, Saturn is an earth planet, but it's like more structured. Like technology is structured in a way to where it's has a foundation, but yet it's so like unknown and unseen, and that deals with the 11th house too. But that area of your life is just naturally expounded upon. Let me open this door a little bit, get some air. That area is naturally expounded upon. So like, and then you, like I said, you have a lot of associates too. And you also have a lot of friends too, in a lot of different ways too. Aquarius can attract that energy too. The 11th house. Jupiter in the 12th house. Now, Jupiter rules the 12th house too. This is the nighttime, the feminine side, the yin ruler of Jupiter. So with this placement, you have a lot of experiences when it comes to fantasies. So you're probably a person that you have a lot of ideas, very creative ideas in your head. Like if you have this ability to where like you're in a position where you're a movie director or you're a writer of some sort, then you definitely like have this ability to take the ideas that you got in your head, and you probably, this area is broadened because it is growing because it's Jupiter. So with this area growing, this means that your ideas of your dreams and your fantasies and everything dealing with Jupiter and Neptune is constantly growing. So you never run out of like creative ideas when you have Jupiter in the 12th house. So this is like that Walt Disney energy. This is the George Lucas energy and everything like that. Jupiter in the 12th house, that fantasy aspect. Star Wars is very fantasy driven and everything like that. And it is an expanding genre in and of itself. So that is actually a perfect example of Jupiter in the 12th house, the Star Wars series. So that's just that one. That's one aspect. You're a musician. You pull so many creative ideas out of the air and everything like that, and then it's such a mystical, mutable water way to where like it connects so much with the emotions. It's not just like you're a musician with all these random ideas, and then you can't even connect with people with these random ideas. You have all this emotion with these songs and everything. So like this could be the energy that it could play out as. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head out of here, and I love y'all, and y'all take care, and peace.